Hey everybody, how are you? Welcome to Impossible Live. Welcome back if you're joining us again. And really want to invite you when you have a chance to uh, reach out, whether you're watching this live on Meta, whether you're watching it live on LinkedIn, whether you're stopping in for a replay, whether you're checking this out on YouTube. But really just wanted to thank you for joining us and thank you for stopping in. If you haven't been with us before, I'd love to welcome you and welcome you with a virtual toast. And virtual toasts are kind of the thing, the greeting. I'm grateful to amazing aunts and wonderful relatives who encouraged us to raise a glass to celebrate. Whether, hi, Jen, how are you? Thank you so much for popping in to just greet each other and to celebrate, and they encourage us to raise a great glass. So I apologize for the clear plastic cup today, but this is iced coffee, and some would say now not so iced. So thank you so much, Jonathan, Jonathan and Jen. Woo, Poughkeepsie in the house. Oh, I want to thank Jonathan for being here today, especially because Jonathan, and I call him Energizing Jonathan, and mentioning him a lot from the perspective of his signature style, which is I'm in his membership and he's encouraging big steps. He's still waiting for my first reel, so thank you for that. But for those of you who have not joined us previously, I'd love to just invite you to just sit back and relax for a few minutes so we can talk. Hi, Lisa. Happy Monday. And Lisa, I had a chance to see you this morning right after we regained power. So I hope everything is good and well on your end. But for those of you joining us today who have not joined us before, the today's session title is around a song title, and the song is by Amazing Mesa League. This wonderful song was introduced to me by someone who is now, hi Marie, hi Andrea, who is now one of our guardian angels and somebody who I really miss. So, for those of you who we haven't met, we'll relax a little bit as we are comfortable and talk about ways to ignite trust. And we talk about ways, as Jonathan would say, to cheer and celebrate. And I'll start with Jonathan when we talk about can we change the world. I had the pleasure of meeting this wonderful gentleman. Mm, he'll laugh now, almost a little over 5.5 years ago. Somebody I adore, who Marie introduced me to. Marie, um, introduced me to somebody who I fell in love with, and she introduced me to Jonathan. And I can't thank wonderful Peggy enough. And Lisa is at the moment traveling the farthest. So if you're on a replay and you're traveling farther than Lisa today, you please let us know. But in this process, I learned mm, from Jonathan, from the accountability he helped, from the bravery that his stories and his visual storytelling help us explore in his signature style membership. Stories that we would never normally share, the stories we would never normally tell. For those of you who I've known for a little bit, I'm certified in trust and delighted to be certified thanks to Yvette Bethel of Organizational Soul. Celebrating today that Yvette just held our last advanced trust facilitator session. So I'm working on certification, and this one's going to take a little bit because Yvette just gave me a little more time on a really complex, interesting project to complete the paper. But in the process of Can We Change the World, I met Jonathan, who helped me relax a little bit to meet some more people. And he helped this girl from the Bronx who Jonathan says I should no longer call an introvert, who really is an introvert at her core. He helped me eventually get a little bit more comfortable. And Marie, too, my sister from another mother. Islam, how are you? Islam may be traveling slightly farther than Lisa. Let us know where you're joining us from. But one of the things about Can We Change the World is that now that I'm working on trust certifications and I'm a positive intelligence coach, and positive intelligence, PQ as we call it, now has PQ reimagined. It's a lot of change at what feels like a pivotal time. Wonderful coach I admire. Somebody suggested to me in the comments of Creating Connections to Scale, which is an audio series I just launched last week. So thank you for joining us for Style last week and for popping in to upcoming sessions. And the next session is Opportunities. And the one cool thing about Can We Change the World is that it kind of ties into the discussions about creating connections to scale, whether you're doing it as an entrepreneur, as an individual, just in building relationships with your family, in your community, reaching maybe somebody new in workplace of a different culture, of a different age, of a different generation. And Dell from Not So Sunny Wales, welcome back. One of the things in this process is we talked last week about style, and we talked about communication style. We talked about a gratitude or a recognition style, which Jonathan really has helped me tap into. Hey, Lachelle, welcome back, America's Supermom. So we talked about communication style. We talked about gratitude or recognition style. And we talked about adaptive style. And the thing about Can We Change the World? Adaptive style is just the different hats we wear, the different identities, the different roles, the different ways we try and show up in different environments. Sometimes it's the different voices we use and how we show up. And I call it a fragile world because sometimes I've seen the glass ceilings. I've spoken to people, and in the process of Jonathan and Lachelle and I getting to know each other much, much better, we talk sometimes about concrete ceilings and what can we change the world? The fact that Marie, Jonathan, Lachelle, Dell, Lisa, others are here across our genders, across our identities, across our cultures. We have a choice. We can come together and help each other create opportunities. So I talked a little bit about style, which ties into the audio series, which is continuing in 2 days. You'll see the event pop up shortly because one of my amazing team members had to help me, as I jokingly say, shrink Mel's big head so it fits into a graphic, because we can't change the world alone. And the key to this today, and Jonathan being here, this is part of a theme that is ongoing. If we don't take the time to read the newsletter of Jonathan's that's in a post today on LinkedIn, that it's in a post today on Meta, that will be in a post when this live is goes through Carla Seller's amazing magic hands and pops up on YouTube. But Jonathan's newsletter today, and he didn't know I was going to mention it, part one of his newsletter popped up today. So Can We Change the World has to do with divine timing, and the right people are here. The right energy is here. And I really, really appreciate you for being here. Anastasia, oh, from sunny Atlanta. So many people are here from diverse communities, and many of us haven't had a chance to meet in person yet. I've met Jonathan, I've met Marie. We're in virtual communities where others wonder how real our relationships are. Lachelle will tell you. Jonathan will tell you. Dell will tell you. Anastasia will tell you. Marie will tell you. Islam will tell you. Jen will tell you. These relationships are real. And they're the real key. Oh, yeah. They're the real key to changing the world. In the process of talking about Jonathan's signature style, it's a bridge, it's a pathway. And you're right, we can only do it one person at a time, patiently, with great care, with respect. Our adaptive style is important. Jonathan's signature style is really important to help us blend all of those different elements of who we are and figure out how we want to show up. And Jonathan from Exquisite Eve's Visibility Gym will tell you when Mel didn't pass Exquisite Eve's review of my social media, I wasn't sure how to show up to change the world. Kimberly, good morning. Thank you for joining us. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening across cultures. And again, for those who are just joining us, a virtual toast. Besides Jonathan's signature style, which we're going to talk more about on Wednesday in a live, and we'll continue to talk about it in the rest of my Creating Connections to Scale on Possible Live audio series. It is not recorded, it's a lead in to a much bigger Can We Change the World program, which we'll talk about later. But in this process of adaptive style, and as and Jen was one of our recent guests. Jen, oh my gosh, I had so much fun with you. Jen says that was a hard lesson to learn, one person at a time, starting with myself. And that is the lesson. And Jen, once again, is coming up with the aha. It's the mic drop because it's one person at a time. It starts within. And in some cases, we're not sure we're in a psychologically safe space to do that. In that process of deepening our personal development, our leadership skills, our communication skills, how we show up in different situations and cultures. It's really about that journey that I also call Make Space to Emerge. It's about a shift. And those shifts, they can rock us sometimes. We need tremendous support, like the amazing people who are here today. And Lachelle and Kimberly have a community called The Power of the Moment. If you're on LinkedIn and you're on an audio, please check them out. They meet at 11 a.m. Eastern on Tuesdays or 10 Central and interpret that across time zones. Also, check out Jonathan Howard's amazing Coffee Social podcast with Mimi Langley. And it's on multiple platforms. But as the changing the world, two things. Besides talking about Jonathan's signature style and how it offers keys to our adaptive styles and how it can really help us ramp up. Because style is a master key to me. It's the master key to ignite trust. It's a master key to help you invite people in so that they start discovering you, who you are, and learn to care about you. So you can share your truth, and others hopefully will hear it and discover your solutions that you offer and introduce you to other people. In addition to Jonathan's signature style, the one part I really wanted to talk about today was the adaptive style, the signature style. We're in a world where cybersecurity concerns are big, where we're not sure about our psychological safety. Kimberly says, thank you. Yes, we need more conversations on trust, but we need them with people who feel comfortable in their own skin and really comfortable having the conversations. I jumped into a thread recently with somebody amazing. And Jen, I was thinking of Jen is from California. I was thinking of a dear person from Poughkeepsie who I've had the pleasure of meeting, and we're about a year into our relationship, and we met at on a really fragile day in the fragile world, and we have different opinions, and the one thing we agreed on is we are about to vote. And for those of you who may not be interested in voting, exercising your right to vote, know that the choice of the voice that you choose to show up with in our local community, in our daily lives, in our fragile lives, in our hybrid world, in our other relationships, it's really the key to all of us helping each other create communities and creating opportunities where we can flourish, not just thrive, not just survive, but in another way, that whether it's ways to strengthen your faith walk, that another part underneath this has to do with our fears. And we're not, we probably don't have enough time on vacation in communities, no matter how many conversations, no matter how much time, no matter how long we've known each other. Things happen at such a rapid, hectic pace, and it's increasing. We're combating digital dementia. We're combating chronic health issues. We're combating a bunch of things. But one thing I wanted to mention, and I meant to put up a banner for this, but I'll hold it up. An amazing man by the name of Fred Diamond, a fantastic, stellar sales coach, who also wrote a fabulous book on Lyme disease. He had a series where he interviewed an author of a book. And this book now, I'm making it my mission to finish this book. And I love to read, but to finish this book before we finish the Creating Connections to Scale midpoint. Because in the risks, and Anastasia just voted today. And yes, our absentee ballots are here and we are about to complete them. I'm just researching some local candidates. So, Anastasia, thank you. I had to remember to hydrate. It was a key to networking in person. I got really nervous without it. I hope you've got a comfortable beverage around and you're making sure that others aren't dehydrating. But this is the book that was in the series, and I will put it in the chat. And I'll, in the comments, I'll find a link to Fred Diamond's podcast series. And it was a series with this author. And the book is called Crossing the Zone of Fear. And it's got danger zones on it. And I'm going to do what they never say you should do. It says turn back. And this is John Knotts. It's a really thin book. It's about fears and doubts holding us back from achieving success we know we're capable of. And it's got a roadmap in it for unlocking our full potential. And with transparency, I have not read this yet, but I'm about to, because we're about to talk about risks. One of the risks of today is oversharing. People are concerned about the personal information. They're concerned about sharing too much. Wonderful relative who is experiencing identity theft got to hear what sounded like her only child's voice in an atmosphere with a lot of sound and background. Only difference is when her only child calls her my cousin, it's always totally quiet. They only call their mom when they can give her their full attention. Person making this recording using AI had no idea. So, can we change the world using technology, using cybersecurity, using all our skills, creating opportunities for each other to flourish? We can do it together. We can do it one day at a time. We can do it one step at a time. And in Mesa's song, that really hits me. There's besides just an amazing voice and incredible lyrics. I'm going to close out with a segment of her song. These words and these questions really echo for me. What are we wondering is where the answer lies. What do we do and what should we say? All I know is there's one question. Can we change the world? Will we find the answers? Will we change the world? Can we make it right? The rest of the lyrics of the song are as amazing as this segment. In this time and place and space where we're hoping to create a legacy for future generations, where my beautiful sister from another mother, Marie, is about to receive an award in 6 days. And this toast is to her because I will not be there to cheer her on in person. But she knows I'm with her in spirit. One step at a time, one word at a time, one word of gratitude, one word of recognition, one word that eliminates isolation. A hug, a smile, a helping hand. Can we change the world? Let's try together. One day, one step at a time. I hope you'll click on a link so that we have a chance to connect if we haven't already spoken. I hope to see you at an upcoming event, live, in person, hybrid. At during part of our audio series, pop into an upcoming live at our retreat next summer during a trust conversation. Can we change the world? Thanks for joining us today, for minutes, for seconds, for raising a hand, for shouting out, and for being here and being a beautiful part of our Impossible Live community. Have a magnificent day filled with opportunities and possibilities. Stay safe, stay well, stay inspired, and stay in touch. And as Pizza Man said in Hill Street Blues, let's be careful out there. Take great care. Let's talk soon.